It's time to get your fix with Awkward Arsic and Mr. Fifth. Coast to coast coverage of Universal's Halloween Horror Nights begins now. HHN Addict, embrace the sickness.
Welcome back to another episode of HHN Addict, Mr. Fifth.
Awkward Arsic, hello.
And today we're talking about our experiences and some of the things that you might experience if you go out to be a scare actor for Halloween Horror Nights. Both have had the pleasure. Would you call it a pleasure?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a blast.
It was definitely something I'd remember.
Yeah.
Things are different from back in my day. It was 2000.
Back in my day!
2000 was the last time I was a scare actor for Universal Studios Hollywood for the Buffy the Hellmouth Haunt.
He was a scare actor before the hiatus, right? So that's pretty cool.
Yep, the year of. Process I don't think changed much from my time to your time.
Yeah, and I was a scare actor in The Walking Dead, Dead Inside. First year we had it in 2012. Check it out on YouTube, you'll find me. Overalls, red flannel.
Just look for the one going really slow.
The sexiest zombie you'll ever see in a maze. The beginning of June, auditions are starting within the next couple of weeks, so if you guys are interested in that, go to ushauditions.com for more information. But we're going to talk about our experiences, how it is to be a scare actor, how the audition process is.
So for us, I don't know if it was the same with you, but basically there was a open call. You go to a massive line of hundreds and hundreds of people who all wanted to get into a position with Halloween
Very long
Horror Nights.
line.
Everybody who came in originally usually peters out before it's over with.
Oh yeah.
The pool is what keeps the event going because it tends to be an initial cast. My day it was 2, so they'd go, okay, we need 2 characters here, 2 characters here, 2 characters here.
It's pretty similar. Sometimes it depends on the specific role. There might be 3. 2 spots, 3 people. That third one would go on break and then they'd fill in.
Where it was very different from back in 2000 to current times is the labor laws were definitely a little bit more relaxed. What I can tell you is during the run in 2000 it was 8 nights if I'm not mistaken, so it wasn't very many nights at all. You'd get there from 3 o'clock and you would get out about 3 a.m. So you go for 12 hours. Now the only thing that I can tell you is unless you're going to pee your pants, you didn't get a break.
Wow,
Yeah.
no way.
Unless you're going to pee your pants. For me, like I remember in my particular role, it was imagine a bathing suit that has painted abs, right?
Sexy, sexy.
And it has a zipper that's in the very back. So if you needed to take a leak, it was so tight, first off, I had pants on over it, but it was so tight that if you had to take a leak, you had to go up and go, can you unzip that for me to somebody else?
Oh man, you're stinky.
There's a guy who, at the time, I had no clue who he was, okay? Dreadlocks, smoking weed like you can't believe. The guy said, you know, what's up, man? And I said, hey, you think you could help me by unzipping this? I really need to take a leak. And he says, yes. Come back out, and I hear a bunch of girls yelling, Rob Zombie!
No way.
And Rob was actually
That's
doing
pretty
stuff
cool.
at the time. I think he was going through the mazes, because he had done mazes in the past, but he was there, like, experiencing the event. So anyway, Rob Zombie, he unzipped me.
Wow,
So I
you
took
had
a
the
leak.
honors of being unzipped.
He freed the beast.
Rob Zombie.
about the audition process.
Yeah, this guy just jumped everything. So if you guys are curious as to how to actually become a scare actor, let's go back a little bit.
Yeah, because now you know how to pee if you have a complicated costume. Arsic here, he just went.
Yeah,
Like, he
I
just left the overalls on and
Shit.
just...
I was a zombie. I could have fluids everywhere. I can have shit all over.
Cold nights, that was a plus for him.
Mm.
Because it warmed him up. Hot
That's
nights,
true.
not so much. Yes.
How did it go
audition.
for you? You said that there was a very long line, hundreds of people wanting to get there. Right?
Yes, tons of people.
Yeah.
You'd go into a room, and it depended on a couple of things, like what they were looking for. They were looking for the victim. They would play a soundtrack off of a boombox that was on a table. There was 5 or 6 people play the music, and if you were the victim, you had to get attacked. If you were the aggressor, the monster, then you would be attacking the victims. John mentions that you're not able to actually touch the other people when you're in the audition.
Big no-no.
I swear we were body slamming each
No
other.
way.
Like, it was body slamming, like everybody was in it. We were selling it.
They
Like,
just have like a separate wrestling corporation that they
Like-
film all this and...
I remember going back and having like marks from where
Oh
somebody
my
had
gosh,
showed
that's insane.
to take me down. I was like, it was worth it.
Now actually they're doing reservation times in a way where you still wait in a line, but it's kind of planned. Like this group, you're set for this time, so you don't have to wait as long. But when we got in, it was probably a group of 20 to 30 people. They played the music and they said, okay, you're being attacked by...
They still play the music, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
they play the music and they're like, okay, you're being attacked by a monster when this music is really slow. And then the music would turn back on and they say, okay, turn into the monster that attacked you now. So you're a zombie, you're walking around, you're kind of interacting with others, but like you, it's not the same. We weren't touching each other. We would just kind of have to play off of each other and just go around them and all that good stuff. Then they'd line us up and they'd make us do our second thing. So that's when we had to act like we were dying, but one at a time. So they'd say, okay, you come up. And it is a little scary. I mean, you have like 3 judges at the time for us watching us, and then everybody else in line watching you. Then they all tell you to go outside. One of the workers there brings out golden tickets. So whoever gets...
We had the golden tickets, but for us, they did the initial, like,
you suck, that round, you just get out of here right away? Okay.
And then they sent the ones that were alright out, would cycle through all the groups, and then all the people that were really good all went back in and went for another round. And then
wow,
you got
you guys
the
would audition again after that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we got through the process a little bit, let's talk about our one favorite memory of our experiences. Mine's actually really, really simple. First off, I will say that because it wasn't sound stages, you typically found that the sets were much like Orlando's quality in terms of things being a lot taller. Since there was control of the fog and there was control of special effects, they tend to do more. There was one particular part where you went through a chain link fence area and it was set up to be like a park. And they were blown away by this animatronic. It was a raccoon that was just getting people, right? Nobody thinks like, huh, we're at Universal where there's skunks and there's raccoons and there's deers and coyotes and everything else. No, they think it's an animatronic that's inside the maze.
Obviously.
Now you would think when something's clawing at their leg, drawing blood, that they would go like, maybe that's a real raccoon. And I could hear people saying like, oh my gosh, I'm covered in that blood from that scene.
Okay.
And I could see that people had blood on them, and I was going, okay, this is weird. Well, shortly after 15-20 minutes of people going through and talking about how they got the blood on their clothes, that's when the alarms went off. And they set off the fire alarms, lights come on in the soundstage, we evacuate the maze. We're all sitting outside and they're talking about how there is a live raccoon inside the maze. So in that park scene, that raccoon was actually reaching through the chain link fence and grabbing at people's legs. Everybody thought it was the event, but that's one that stands out as being just a highlight. Something else, I remember they're like, hey, you need a break, fill in the name. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So in this particular scene, you had a stage that was here, you had a Buffy who had a cross, I believe. When she went like this, the other scare actor had a harness on that had a bungee.
It's badass.
And it would yank you up against the wall and throw you up against it. So I'm like, okay, I've never done this. And they're like, oh, you just go with it. Just go with it.
They're like, you're a stunt man.
Yeah,
just do it.
Just enjoy it.
Go for it.
Again, back in 2000, a little bit more lenient. Like, no need for breaks, no need for training, just do it. But yeah, that would be my favorite memory. And the one thing I will say is I think that anyone will agree that's had the pleasure of going through the experience, already goes through, you know, and meets everybody just like this guy did, is very hands-on. It's not like a, you are my slave, now do this.
Well, that's what they chained me up and they were just like, you gotta be here all day, every day.
John's like, you get over here. Never mind.
Not again, John!
But yeah, the one thing I would say is for me, I love the family. Everybody looked after each other. Everybody, in my day, we'd all go to Bob's Big Boy after that out.
Yeah, that's where we would go too.
Same thing. Yeah, everybody go over there. We had a waitress named Rambo.
That's crazy. Rambo Jr. was at our...
So what's your favorite memory, asshole?
So for me, it's not as eventful. There wasn't a raccoon eating people alive. All the cast was gonna walk through the maze. So for me, I was geeking out, but I saw Andrew Lincoln. I saw basically every character. But we got to scare them and go through. They went through it like 2 or 3 times. The cameras were filming. And then I remember the same day when they, the next day when they aired that on The Talking Dead.
Yep, that's when I saw you.
Yeah, a couple of friends and some family members that watched The Walking Dead text me. They're like, hey, were you on The Walking Dead? They recognized me through like a 3-second clip But
I wouldn't go 3 seconds.
it was like
If you blinked, you'd
like
miss
half
it.
a second.
Yeah, but you know what? You made TV, so I'll give
I
him
made
that.
TV.
On one of the most popular series ever.
So I am a famous actor now.
Oh yes.
But yeah, for me that was it. Just getting to see the cast of one of my favorite shows.
What do we know offhand that we can remember? Have to be 18 years or older by the start of auditions, right?
So you could be 17 when you audition, but as long as you'll be 18 the first day of training. So you still basically, if you're like a week or two away from turning 18, that's totally cool. But if you're, 7 months till you're 18, that's not gonna happen. So
and something to keep in mind, because I know obviously there's a million different body types, million different kinds of people out there, and some people will go, okay, well maybe I'm not skinny enough, or maybe I'm too fat, or maybe I'm too tall, or maybe I'm too short. This event, they have characters for every make and model of person. Yeah. So if it's something you want to do, definitely go for it. It's not going to hurt. The experience is a fun one.
Absolutely.
I would definitely, I don't know that I'd want to do it again. I loved it doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah. It would be tough.
Because the pros that I would say is, for sure, like you said, it's a family. So everybody that you work with in that cast, you guys go out after, you guys hang out and all that good stuff. And
there's Facebook groups as well that are created just for that cast.
Yeah,
and you share stories and share, hey, we're meeting up for this, we're meeting up for that.
Yeah, and all of that's really good, but it is a very tiring job. My call time was 2 p.m. and then they would have to apply all the prosthetics, put all the makeup, get your wardrobe. So I'd be done by like 3:30 or so after going through the line and all that. So 3:30 to 6 o'clock, you're really not doing anything, but you're getting paid to just be there, which is cool. You scare from like 6:30 or 7 till, for The Walking Dead that year, it was being extended every night.
Yeah,
so we were getting off at like 3:30 a.m., go back down, change and everything. So it was almost 4:30 by the time we were out. So very tiring. So if you have school or if you have another job,
it's a full time.
It is a full time.
It's a part-time, full-time job. We can't talk about the amount that you get paid, as we spoke about earlier. But do they still have premium roles? So if you're somebody who's a face character,
speaking like the entrance, well, they don't even have the entrance, the greeter anymore.
Yeah, the greeter would get paid more.
The greeter would get paid more. Stilt scare actors.
Which that's another whole video about the whole greeter.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Check out my outrage culture video. I do talk about it just briefly. But yeah, stilt walkers get paid more. They are. Go-go dancers, of course, they're not scare actors, but if you're a go-go dancer and you want to audition for that, they get paid pretty good money. Yeah, oh yeah, thank you.
Sorry about that.
And like he said with the pool too, if you don't get cast for a specific maze, you might not go to work every single night, but eventually
chances are you will be in the event.
Yeah, because they'll start throwing you in and people drop out, and then eventually you'll go into a permanent role as well. So either way, if you don't get a permanent maze, the pool is fun because you try out different roles, different mazes entirely every night.
Something that crossed my mind that I don't know if it remained the same with you guys, but for me, I always wondered, because you see all these different costumes, and obviously you have all the different shapes and sizes, I questioned, like, when it came to the wardrobe and what people were wearing, how did they get everybody fitting into them? And in my day, and I'm thinking it probably remains the same, maybe a different place, what was cool was all of the big-ass pieces that were from the different mazes, including like the entrance for the Rob Zombie where you go through his head. All of this stuff was around this building.
That's pretty cool.
So like while you're waiting for your turn, you're just like, if you're a horror geek like I am, you're like
just jizz in your pants.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Woo! And now it's a little bit different because they would measure you when you're at the audition at the very beginning. They get your waist size, your shirt size, and all that. And it depends on the role you were given. So there's certain people that when you audition, they're like, oh wow, that body type is perfect for this specialty role. Bicycle Girl from 2012, how they had
if you were missing the lower half of your body, you were in demand.
Stupid. Those girls that were cast for that, very skinny, but it was all prosthetics. It was like a latex bodysuit, so it took extra measurements. So they gave them a call time to go back and get all that fitted. And even then, I remember when they would be scaring, they couldn't breathe because the mask wasn't
cut correctly.
Yeah, it wasn't cut correctly, so there was times where they almost passed out. Audition process is a little scary, but you guys will be fine. If you're interested, definitely go, like I said, ushauditions.com.
If you have any questions that we didn't cover, right down there, put them in, and we'll do our best to answer them. Make sure you stalk us on social media, HHN Addict on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also at www.hhnaddict.com. HHNScareactor.com.
It's gonna be a new community, so if you guys love Horror Nights, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you do.
If you sat with us for 30 minutes, we love you.
Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see you guys next week. See you.